A different look now for San Antonio. Ginobili comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. And then for Dallas, Wright comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Devin Harris subbed in for Nelson. Now, Wright. He has 5. Belton attacking. Harris, right side. And the dunk by Wright.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
And for Bellinelli, you couldn't have asked for a better situation than the Spurs offensively.
Yeah, they put their shooters in a great position to succeed, Kevin. A really good passing offense with a clear system, clear-cut system. Marco wasn't asked to create his shot as much, and that benefits him and his team.
The Mavericks leading. Harris up top, covered by Mills. Harris passes to Wright. Back to Harris. Clock at 6. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Devin Harris originally signing a 3-year, $9 million contract with the Mavs going into last season, but had to settle for a 1-year minimum contract after the physical revealed he had a dislocated toe.
And Harris missed the first half of last season, but then Clark, when he returned, he played fairly well.
Kevin, I thought he still had that burst of quickness combined with solid playmaking, and he's a nice combo guard to have on your roster.
The Mavs have fallen back, Steve, in the West the last 2 years, but they were very much in the hunt this past season.
Well, they were in a battle for the final playoff spot in the West, and then they ended up in the 8th spot and took San Antonio all the way to 7 games. So they did extremely well given the strength of the conference.
You know, for the Mavs against the West, it was really about them hitting their shots. They're a very good shooting team, especially when they played against Western Conference opponents.
Now here's Duncan. He has 6. Ginobili can't hit.
It's like he's just trying to showcase his range, but he could probably get a better shot in that possession.
Yeah, he sure could. It doesn't do you any good if you miss it from that deep.
Here's Harris. No luck. Nice D from Duncan.
Well, to back up what you talked about with the Mavs shooting, I mean, they were one of the best shooting percentage teams in the league, and they did a lot of their damage against the Western Conference, which, as we all know, is the much deeper conference.
Now, here's Diaw after Devin Harris's miss. That ties it up. Diaw's got 9. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And it's Harris off the drive, and he makes the 8-footer.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
Ginobili against Felton. Diaw, the screen. Mills dishes to Diaw, 11 feet away, and Duncan with the basket on the assist by Diaw. 8 points for Duncan.
Good job pulling the trigger when the defense opened up for him. He had an opportunity, took advantage of it.
Using his strength nicely there to ensure the rebound. Good work.
Third quarter comes to a close, and a battle brings it to a tie. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily.
It's a Halloween broadcast of the NBA. Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs take on Goran Dragic and the Phoenix Suns this Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific.
And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And the finish, guys, this is where you know you are right on the money with that pass. Look at that. Perfectly timed.
And San Antonio has possession. On the floor for Dallas starting the fourth quarter here. Harris is out there with Ellis. Then there's Al Farouk Aminu, and it's Chandler, and it's Wright in at the 4.
Can't get a much better look than that, though.
Sure can't. Not one you'd expect him to miss there.
Harris outside. Kicks it to Aminu. Rebounded by the Spurs. Diaw's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Parker with it. Picked up by Ellis. And Diaw kicks to Leonard. To take the lead. And right through it goes. Leonard's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for San Antonio. The Mavericks trailing. Harris outside. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Here's Wright. A rebound by the Spurs.
After fighting back into it, they had a chance to tie this thing up.
Steve, I love it. They are not going away. They've brought it close right now.
Now here's Ellis. Harris kicks to Ellis. Shot clock at 6. Ellis right side. And another shot. And the layup is good. Wright's got it all tied up now for the Mavs.
That's some grit and determination. Close game.
Exactly. I mean, this is the time to attack on the interior and generate those easy opportunities.
And that one's good. Parker.
The soft finger roll is just one of the many finishing moves he has in his bag of shot making.
Harris passes to Ellis. And Harris wide open. He shoots. No good from 11 feet.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, That's what you call early offense.
Now here is Harris. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. The drive by Ellis. And he gets that one to go off the front iron.
And now both of these clubs really in a groove here.
Already a high-scoring game, but it has become an offensive showcase down the stretch.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Monte Ellis at 6'3" is certainly a gifted scorer. He played most of his career minutes at the shooting guard position. He gives up some size there, however, and that's been a challenge for him at the defensive end.
Splitters checked in for San Antonio. And then for Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Wright. Chandler Parsons comes in for Al Farouk Aminu. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Devin Harris. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He told them, the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
And some have felt as a scoring combo guard, Ellis would be best as a sixth man. Steve, coming off the bench, what do you think?
I agree. You know, as talented as he is, you know, he's really kind of a combo guard who's a nightmare matchup for a lot of players. But he's not a true point, and he doesn't have that size that you want at the two-guard spot. So, to me, the sixth man makes perfect sense.
Now Parsons. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. Nelson outside. Good. Nothing but net.
Well, this is what happens when he gets on a roll. You are not going to see a better rhythm shooter than him.
Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Parker kicks to Duncan. Well, Tim Duncan, in a lot of ways, the epitome of Steve's substance over style.
Yeah, no doubt, Kevin, both in terms of his game and his personality. He's just a winner and a leader, but he does it in such a quiet fashion that sometimes people forget to take notice.
And when I think about Duncan's leadership, man, I could go on and on. I don't even know if I have enough time, but one of the things that stands out is he's never put himself above his teammates or the staff, and he allows himself to be coached extremely hard by Greg Popovich. He's relentless, dedicated, and in many ways he can lead without saying a word.
The Spurs making a switch here. Green's checked in. And Duncan drops them both.
You talk about Duncan allowing Pop to get into him. I think really he's his own toughest critic. As great as he is, he's hard on himself. He's pushed himself to become great.
And Nelson gets it to go.
He's really done a nice job taking advantage of his opportunities in this half.
For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Parker kicks to Splitter. Puts it up from 12, and that one's good. Parker.
Well, those are key baskets, and we know he can deliver down the stretch.
So it's the Mavericks now. It's Nelson up top, covered by Parker. Parsons dishes to Nelson. Chandler, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
You know, the Spurs, because of their way of conducting business and their low-key personality, have never really been ratings darlings for the NBA, despite being considered and respected as a model franchise in the league. The team's color of silver and black, I think, fits their style. It's not really flashy or gaudy, but it does point out their business-like approach and how precise they play and how much they win.
And he knocks down the first one.
And you look at the Spurs' lack of branding, if you will. It starts from the top down, from Coach Popovich to Tim Duncan. They don't court media attention. They're close to the vest, all business, all about winning.
Manu Ginobili's checked in for the Spurs. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. And the Spurs look for a certain kind of player, Clark. I know you're interested in this. The players they get are uninterested in the spotlight. Pop calls them guys that have gotten over themselves.
That's a great way to phrase it, because they're others-focused, not self-focused. And that's something that really lends itself well in a culture which glamorizes the I and not the group. And you can see it in the Spurs. They are all about business, and all of the extra stuff is not what appeals to them. They're interested in winning and having fun and enjoying each other, and that's why they're a championship organization and team.
That's a good blueprint.
Yes, it is.
Mavericks trailed by 4. And here's Nelson. Ellis goes in. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle sticks for the Spurs?
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
He hits the second from the line.
Ellis having a terrific game. He has 17 points, and he's added to his totals by picking up 3 points at the line as well.
Yeah, and that's something that's important for him and his team. Getting a few extra points and knocking those free throws down and helping your team any way you can.
Pass to Nelson. And Parsons kicks to Chandler. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
How about the delivery in the lane? Just perfectly done.
For San Antonio, they've gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Parker with it. And it's Nelson picking him up. Ginobili kicks to Duncan. Lets it go from 11. And the basket good. And the Spurs lead by 3.
You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put an extra body on him, get some help when he barrels his way in close. He's such a good finisher. He needs more than one guy to defend him.
Now, here is Nelson. Duncan brings the double team. Chandler, the pass to Nowitzki. Can't hit from in close.
That's an easy shot there. That's a shot that he should make more often than not.
Parker dishes to Splitter. And Parker, here we go. Good D by Nelson.
That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Mavericks trailed by 3. Here's Ellis. It's hauled in by Ginobili. Ginobili's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. There's the dish to Splitter. Parker outside. Hits from the high post. Parker's got 6 in the quarter. And the Mavericks call time here. They trailed by 5. 1:37 left to play here in the 4th. Nelson against Parker. Chandler with a screen for Nelson. And a fast break now for the Spurs. And it's slammed in by Splitter.
Boy, how's that for a quick possession?
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, he didn't waste any time getting down the court, did he?
Nowitzki with the screen on Parker. Nelson with it. He's picked up by Parker. Hit his foot. And they're saying he kicked the ball.